third time she actually made homemade cookies for us. Huh? Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Isso and I am back with another video. I just finished a couple of my exams and your girl did very well, so I'm thinking of filming another video just kind of talking about, like, because I know when most of us Nigerians, or not just Nigerians, if you're like not from like the Western world and you go there to school, especially maybe when you're not schooling, like you're not like maybe young, you're kind of older, you kind of feel this intimidation when you go back to school and you're like, how do I be a student again? Like, how do I go back to being a student? I've been out of school for maybe 30 years, 40 years, 10 years, 20 years, I don't know. So if you'd like to see a video just about me talking about that, then let me know in the comment section. That's first. Secondly, I need to talk about this because I see your comments asking for like direct one-on-one communication with me and, like, you know, to get advice, which is valid. But the truth is that I am not able to do that one-on-one guidance like for the express entry process. That is why, to a large extent, I do my best to like come up here and give this information, because my life is very busy. The processes are changing, and I'm going to be lying to you if I say that I'm keeping up in so much detail with all the changes that are happening with the express entry system. So I think it would be a very big disservice to you if you know, having that communication with you and I'm not like updated with like all the new rules and the policies of express entry. So I just had to put that out there. I'm not ignoring anybody, I just cannot, I don't have the information to be able to say I want to guide anybody through this process, if you get what I mean. And I mean, I would have liked to do that, but really my life is just so busy, like school, work. I try to actually still figure out like, what am I doing in this country? I'm still in that phase, right? So I hope you guys understand. And yeah, I'm still going to do my best to keep bringing informative videos. If you've not watched some of my videos in the past, you probably should, because I do have like valuable things to share with you. Okay? And yeah, thank you guys for always leaving comments in all my videos. That being said, from the title you can already guess what the video is going to be about. Like, you know, when I moved here and I was like, oh, what was the culture shock I experienced when I moved from Nigeria to this country? I didn't experience a lot of culture shocks, to be honest, but I was not expecting the ones I would see while in school. So I'm like, well, why not tell you guys those culture shocks? So just so that maybe when you're coming here, you'll be ready and you will expect like, okay, this could probably happen in school. Let's jump right into the video. Okay, so the first culture shock that I'm gonna be smiling all the time because it's just really funny even thinking about it now. The first culture shock that I discovered when I went back to school was the fact that I could send my instructor like my assignment that I did for them to go through it, and then they would be like, oh, okay, it's good, or you could probably work on it, and then I would go and do it again, and then I would now submit. What am I trying to say? In Nigeria, I could, except it was my project, like, you know, like Nigerian like project, like final year project. If that was not the case, there was no way that I would do like a paper and then go and show my lecturer like, oh sir, can you read this thing first before I submit? No, literally, like it's probably like how many pages, and they are not going to use their time to now read your paper and then say okay and do this correction and then go and submit if it's not your project, right? But in this case, when I first came, like I said, I was still worried, like, did I do this assignment well? Did I not do it well? I literally finished the assignment and then I emailed it to her, like, I don't know if I did this okay, like, can you just have a look? And this lady literally looks through my assignment and she's like, okay, well, 90% it's good, but this area, that area, you should probably work on it. And then I did all of those corrections and then I submitted, and then yeah, I did well, right? Another part of this culture shock is the fact that one of my lecturers was like, oh, you guys, I need you to do this assignment. For example, we're supposed to submit like next week Wednesday, for example, and then she's like, oh, today is Friday, and she's like, you guys need to do this assignment so that I can go through it and be sure that you got everything correctly. I was like, what? That was a serious culture shock. I didn't even know how to act. I'm like, is this a prank? Like, is this real? Like, what do you mean I should show you my assignment so you can give me corrections and then I can get 100 over 100 in the rating, you know? And that's what happened actually. And the thing is, you need to work ahead of time, right? Because if you're waiting to like, oh, the last moment and then you're showing them, they're not going to take you seriously. But this is like, oh, I have like 3-4 days to submit my in fact, I think I even have like a week to submit the assignment. I already started it because since she's willing to look through, you know. And in this school, in this type of the way of education here in this country, I feel like every little thing matters. All your assignments, all your quizzes, all your group projects, like those things, you should actually work very hard in them, because by the time it accumulates and then your exam, how do I say it? Like, you're able to gather a lot of points from those, like, is it continuous assessments that we call them in Nigeria, and then you kind of have a little piece, so that if the exam does not go like as well as you want, you're already like maybe at a 90 or at a 95 or at an 85 from your continuous assessment, and you know that okay, the exam put effort, but just if it's not going the way you want, you're not going to fail that course, if you get what I mean. So yeah, that was my first culture shock, like my lecturer willing to go through my assignment before I submit. I love it though, I absolutely love it. The next thing I would say shocked me, because in my life in university in Nigeria, I never had a lecturer in the federal university. I don't know about private schools, but in the federal university I went, I never had a lecturer coming to class with like Timmy's, like Timbits or chocolate or sweet lollipop, or like she literally baked cookies for us to class. No Nigerian lecturer ever did that for me in university. So you don't even understand how shocked I was. I'm gonna get into this more, but like, yeah, we had a class that was not the best, like, and then the lecturer came and she was like, oh my god, you guys don't look good, and and then she literally went back down to buy these little Timmy's, like Timbits. It's like puff puff, but like these people, they just want something else. So she bought those like little Tim Hortons puff puff for us. It's not puff puff. She bought it for us and she brought it to class and she's like, you guys need sugar, eat. That was the first time. The second time again, she bought another like Timbits for us, and then the third time she actually made homemade cookies for us. This was so strange to me. I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, why is this instructor like feeding me sugar in class? You know, that was one. And the second instructor we had, you know, she was literally, I think she naturally has a sweet tooth, right? So she has a lot of like chocolates and sweets, so she would bring like this whole like Ziploc bag of like sweets, and she's like, okay, everybody come have one. First now, like, we're having one or two, right? But that was so shocking to me. Like, I think it just made me realize like this is not just their like job, they actually like what they're doing. I don't know if I can say the same for a lot of, you know, educators back in Nigeria, but I think these people actually enjoy this job that they are doing, and they love teaching students, they love to educate students, and yeah, they are just willing to do everything within their power to just make you feel better, even if it's like by 1% or by 2%. So that was very, very shocking to me, because what do you mean I can have cookies in class? Like in Nigeria, I said, what do you mean you're eating in class? Like even the eating in class, you have to hide, because if they catch you, that kind of thing, right? This one, like, you can eat in class. Shocking. It was very shocking. I think the third thing I would say that shocked me was the fact that like you can actually walk in and out of class. So my first class was very funny because I misread the time, and then I was outside, teacher was inside. This was like literally 1 hour into the class. I'm like, oh my god, I've literally missed this class. This is my first day. What am I going to do? But then I met one guy and I'm like, oh my god, what should I do? And he's like, get in there. I'm like, how do you mean I should get in there? Like in Nigeria, what do you mean once your lecturer enters, they close the door, period, like you've missed that class? But it's like, no, go in. And this is not to say like, oh, you have to be disrespectful, right? No. So I did enter and I just explained, I'm like, oh my god, I misread the time and blah blah blah. She's like, okay, yeah, come in. I'm like, okay. And then after that, like several times I see like people, not in a disrespectful way, don't get me wrong, but like walking into the class, walking out of the class. I just thought like late coming was prohibited. Like once the lecturer enters, you cannot enter. And I do think in certain levels of education, even in the Western world, I think that is a rule. But I guess since this is not like this is like a condensed course for me, so I was still also expecting that kind of rigid, you know, policies, but that was not the case. So honestly, I was happy. And even the thing of like eating in class, not to be disrespectful, guys, but like the fact that when teacher is teaching, I can actually literally, I have this classmate, he would literally bring a whole, almost like a whole platter of food, because that is their culture. They don't just eat like, oh, rice and stew in plates, but like this plate of sauce, this plate of sides, this plate of blah blah blah, everything he's bringing, and he's like literally like this eating, and the teacher is teaching. I don't know, this is probably not a big deal, but I just like the freedom we have. Like, I mean, school is already stressful, right? Like, I want to eat, let me eat, okay? I can't leave your class to eat because I'm gonna miss what you're saying. I want to hear what you're saying and eat my food quietly and in peace. And I really love that, right? Another thing I would say was a culture shock for me, because I don't know about you, but like in my own school in university, right, I don't think my lecturers care about my mental health. This sounds so like sappy, but I don't think they cared. Like whether everybody's face is looking like stone or sad, they're not even saying they're coming to teach and they're getting out when they're done teaching, and they expect you to deliver, right? But here I noticed how they would literally be paying attention to us. Like I mentioned earlier, we had a class that was not the best, right? You could just see how everybody was drained from that class. And then the second teacher came in and she's like, uh-oh. She was like, uh-oh, you guys don't look good, what's going on? Like the fact that they can actually see body language and be like, yeah, these students don't look good, like what is going on? And then she's like, okay, I know you guys don't feel good, but I'm going to do my best to make this class fun. And she did exactly that. Like she made sure she brought her like the chocolate and the sweet and the lollipops for us, and she's like, yeah, you guys need sugar, have some sugar, guys. Like they were like our parents at this point. You know, it's like, have some sugar, guys, eat and be happy kind of thing. And it just made me feel like so good, so sane. Like they see your demeanor, if you like, because how do I say, the teachers, they know, especially the ones we're close to, they know when everybody's like high spirits, they can see it, right? And they're following that energy. But when the students are just low spirits, like they don't look good, they look tired, they look stressed, they now try to adjust their teaching style, because at the end of the day, they know that if we're too stressed out in our mind, we're not going to listen to what they're saying, right? So that is so important for them, and I really appreciated it. Like literally another day, so when the second teacher came in after the first class that was not very good, second one came in and said like, okay, you guys don't look good. When the third teacher now came, she's like, yeah, they're not okay, they look very stressed out. Good luck kind of thing. And luckily the third one that came actually baked cookies, so she's like, come on guys, come have some cookies. Like, why do you care about us so much? Like, why do you care about our mental health so much? Like literally after that, because they just talk, and she's like, so I think they spoke, and then she's like, okay, I know you guys did not have a very good morning, so I'm going to try to make sure that my class is not that heavy. And that was exactly what she did. She asked questions, but like it was such a light class, and everyone's mood was like up, like everyone felt good, everyone felt fine. Like the attention to details in like body language, and it just blew my mind. Like, oh my god, like these lecturers are actually paying attention, and like I said, they actually like what they're doing. For them to be so in tune with like their students, I really appreciated that, right? I don't know if I'm in the fourth or the fifth point right now, but the next thing that I said would shock me, that I think shocked me going back to school here in Canada, was like the way respectfully you can actually butt heads with your lecturer. In Nigeria, a lecturer says one thing and you're like, oh sir, but that's not what was written in the book. Are you okay? Give me your matric number. All those ridiculous things. But here, like, I saw a lot of students, like, and they took it with so much, they took it like champions. Like, they didn't take it like, oh my god, like, these students think I don't know what I'm doing, right? They took it like champs. Like, they're like, oh, thank you for that correction, I'm so sorry guys, okay, this is da 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 da. But yeah, the fact that like you can actually correct in a respectful way, correct your lecturers, like, oh, but this isn't what you wrote, or like, but this isn't what you said yesterday. You can literally, because okay, we had some feelings for like, a lecturer that was busy and they had to film on the lecturer. Like, it got to the point where like, we don't think we want any more exchanges, because the communication, the information you guys are giving us are kind of clashing. Like, we need one person to teach us. And they literally made that correction, and the teacher started teaching us again. Try that in Nigeria. Don't even try it, please. Or don't try it in Nigeria, I beg. What do we say? Issa said, don't try it in Nigeria. No, but yeah, like, that was just so interesting to see how, because nobody knows everything, and I will keep saying it respectfully, not disrespectfully, right? I actually, even when we got to the point like, oh, there was like some mistakes, I'm like, oh, but this is what this one said and this is what you're saying, so does that mean this one is wrong? And she's like, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't even see that. Like, yeah, like that is actually wrong and blah blah blah. And she's like, I'm gonna correct that quickly. Everyone is happy. There is no, like, you're not God, you're freaking, you're a teacher, you're not God, right? You don't know everything. So as long as someone is respectfully trying to like bring your attention to something, I think you should take it and make that correction. I don't know what you guys think about that, but that is my own opinion. This video is going to get too long, so I'm just going to cut it very, very short. Lastly, students, after like maybe it's each term, they can actually give feedback about your lecturers, and if the feedback is not good, that lecturer is probably not going to come back. So as students, you actually have a lot of power to like, oh, how was this lecture, how did they teach, was this course relevant to you, to what you're using it for? They're going to ask you all these questions, which actually was in like blowing my mind, like blew my mind, right? I think it's very, very important, because trust me, if I had that chance in Uniben, like to do that, like give feedback about some lecturers and if they would actually, because it's not just to get the feedback, they're actually going to use that feedback and make some corrections. If I had that opportunity in Uniben, I think it would have been so helpful, and it would have just saved us students from a lot of mental stress and like anxiety. And yeah, I'm not going to go far, but yeah, I think we should have saved us a lot of things. So yeah guys, so those are some culture shocks that I experienced in school. And if it's just like the general one, or the fact that we have like what do you call it, the fact that we have microwaves in school, the fact that we have like a literal gaming part of the school, like all those gamers that will wear headset and we actually had a place like that in school that we could go and, you know, game just to release stress. We also had like a pool table, like we had some recreational things basically, and that was really, I was very shocked, because I'm like, what do you mean, are we not here to just study till we pass out? But no, they actually care about your mental health, and all these little things to just help you, they were provided by the school. I think that is something that a lot of, not just even private schools in Nigeria, like even the federal ones, they can actually, because really our brain, we can only assimilate so much, and when we get too stressed out, like we don't want to learn again. So yeah, that was also a culture shock for me. I'm going to leave it there. It has been a very interesting experience. I feel like even if you come here and maybe you're fine like career wise, maybe just try to experience this like abroad school life. It's so different from what we're used to back home, and I'm so glad I went back to school. I'm so glad I experienced this. I now have a standard, like, okay, this is a standard I'm going to like look forward to, not just for myself but my future children and all of that stuff. Like, good things do exist in school, right? Yeah. So anyway, I hope this was like entertaining for you guys, and I will see you guys in that next video. I'm probably going to film it today, like right now, just because I'm not going to have time a lot in March. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave your comments. I'd also like to know, for those of you that have actually schooled abroad, or for those of you that are going to come and school abroad, what are some things you're expecting from these abroad schools that they're going to do or not do to you? Please let me know in the comment section. I'm very, very curious. I'll see you guys in our next video. Bye.